Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most overpowered Harlowe build in Ultimate Vault Hunter 6 of Borderlands 4. What's crazy about this is you can actually shred through the entire game using this whole setup here, and the best part is it comes online relatively early, so no matter where you're at in the game, this is one of the strongest builds overall, and the piercing effect that we can get is actually pretty crazy because it can take us through this phase of Bloomreaper really quickly with really a variety of different weapons here. I was using the Golden God to get that to happen here, but it's the second phase that is really challenging because of the large health bar. So there really is a meta of the best weapons, unfortunately, that we have to use in this here, and the bot is just the best choice overall. Now, we got to use a few different things if we want to get the Ultimate Vault Hunter 6 time, and it is not important that we do, but if you want the challenge, this is kind of the way to get those new firmware. So for the second phase, we're going to be using the bot, as you see there, and then just the old classic where we use this for infinite bullets, and then we'll just swap the magazine around, so then it takes us to the final phase there. And yeah, that's how to easily do Bloomreaper. Unfortunately, it has that 24-second vulnerability phase there. And boom, we just got ourselves a platinum time there. Now, as mentioned, this actually has a good setup if we're not doing Bloomreaper, but if you're fighting Bloomreaper, I think this is the best way to go. Now, the thing is, Harlow's green skill tree is just one of the absolute best. I do a build for a red skill tree, but with things like the momentum here giving us increased critical hit damage, the bonus damage from decoherence, the lifesteal and survivability, the bonus radiation damage, everything combines together with the critical funding here to give us infinite ammo on any weapon, and combining the nuclear winter with the group study here, we just get infinite ammo and infinite crits on everything. Now, from levels 1 through 15, momentum is going to be the best choice here. When we entangle an enemy, which we do very often, we get a boost to our critical hit damage. This then takes us to the neutron decay. Whenever we irradiate enemies, we get increased gun damage. Really nice because we're going to irradiate enemies often. Plus 50% gun damage is also great. Then we got creative overflow. So we get increased gun damage based on our overshield. We're later going to get things that are going to give us shield and overshield, which just synergizes so well. This gives us up to 36% bonus gun damage. And we're going to take 2 points of confirmative reality. Some people say they only need 1. I think 2 is better just because we don't want to be in a situation where we can't get our action skill back. This basically gives you a % of your action skill cooldown back on every shot against an entangled enemy. Some weapons will get you this back almost immediately, like the bod, as it shoots multiple pellets. After this, I think it's best to come down here and take our Augment Nuclear Winter. This is going to give us bonus damage depending on if we're inside it or outside it. The only thing you need to know is when you throw out your ability, you need to stay inside to get that critical hit damage. And the later on perk will be taking Group Study. You actually have to stay within it for the first part. So if you throw this out and run away and try to use the bot, it's not going to work properly. Now, once we get down here, I actually think the Excited State's the best choice because when combined with Nuclear Winter, this is how we get the infinite crits, because when you damage someone with your action skill, the next shot will be an automatic critical hit, and this turns your gun damage into critical hits, which chains it into infinite crits. We'll then go ahead with taking full stacks of this. However, there is some nice things about refraction here because the ricochets are just really good, but we have lots of ways to get that done. After this, I like to take 4 points of distributive function. This is going to give you shield capacity and over shield based on the action skill damage, which comes from Nuclear Winter on our gun, which gives us a lot of survivability, and 1 point into accretion here because you're going to entangle enemies often, and sometimes your shield's broke and you just need that extra life steal. This takes us to the group study Capstone, which is fantastic because it's going to give us a bonus to our gun damage. It applies to our teammates too, which is fantastic because this also applies to our teammates. We're great on a team or solo, but you can keep activating this for further increased boosts. Sometimes you want to do that, sometimes you don't. Most times you don't want to, but after this, I'd actually recommend going with Harlow's Certainty Principle. The gun handling boost and the increased gun handling whenever there's enemies in your flux generator means that you're going to be hitting your shots with some of the harder to aim weapons. This then takes us down to critical funding. Whenever we get a critical hit, we're going to refill a portion of our gun's magazine, which is 5 bullets on a crit, and we get infinite crits. 15% chance you're going to keep your ammo full on most weapons, most notably shotguns like the bod and the Golden God. And after that, I'd recommend taking the Meltdown. Critical hits with guns will give us bonus radiation damage, which is nice because we want to irradiate enemies for further increased damage, and we're getting infinite crits, so obviously take that. Now, if you can get 5 points into decoherence from a class mod, that's ideal. But even at 5 points, it gives us an additional 55% bonus damage. Bonus damage takes any of our bonuses. Like if this has increased the gun damage, it actually applies that to the bonus damage as well, making it very scalable. And then for increased, you get increased damage if there's enemies within your flux generator. So close range enemies will take that extra damage. You want to take 5 points in that. And if you have a class mod that adds even further points, that is better. Now, I'm kind of torn. I really like Latent Charge. This gives you bonus damage based on your overshield. The more you have, the bigger the bonus. You're going to have overshield a little bit in this fight. If you find that you're having a hard time maintaining it, then Feedback loop's great because when we entangle enemy, we get increased action skill damage, duration, and cooldown rate, which stacks. And this is actually really nice for just general purpose. But if you got overshield often, this one is nice too. We also want for Specializations the best defense, giving us 30% damage whenever our health or shield is full. Now with caffeine is not essential, but I really do like it because sometimes you just need to spam your Repkit to get your action skill back. This gives you 25% per stack. This is good whenever you're fighting Bloomreaper with the triple bypass. You can spam it 3 times and you pretty much have your action skill back if you're not able to shoot an entangled enemy for the previous perk that we chose. I also like I'm a gun to give ourselves action skill damage increases from our gun damage boost, which does kind of circle around quite a bit. And then really this will give you 50% extra gun damage, which is nice. And for class mods, I really like the reactor here. It's not the most ideal one, but the reason it is good is that it gives us points into decoherence, which is going to give us the largest boost to overall damage. If you can get better rolls, I don't have fantastic rolls, but I put high caliber on here, which is really nice because we want to have at least 3 of those for the piercing effect. I'll get to that in a moment. But this one's going to give you increased gun damage, and it's kind of nice. If you don't have this, you could go with one of the purple class mods, which could give you specific rolls. And the scientist class mod's not too bad either, because it can give you additional ways to irradiate enemies by using shock weapons. It's kind of nice. Now for the class mod, or for the shield. Watts for dinner is personally my favorite. The bonus shock damage it's the best shield in the game, unfortunately. So that's why it's so good. With the amp, you can do some pretty respectable damage. However, if you're mobbing, fireworks is going to be fantastic. Protein cell can be pretty useful too. And I also really like the super soldier as it'll regenerate bullets for you, and the increased fire rate and movement speed can be nice too, but I honestly just like the bonus shock damage from Watts for dinner a little bit better. Now, I actually really like to use the Quintain here, which gives you the increased ricochets from Jacob's licensed weapons, which is important here because this lets us ricochet many projectiles, and we also pierce, so we can do crazy damage with this. Now, if you don't have this, it's also nice to go with like the Quicksilver for getting crits off the cov on other setups here. The Daedalus one for the increased fire rate is fantastic on the bod. That'll help you clear the second phase a lot quicker, but I really just like the increased Jacob's bounce pass. You can use a crit knife, but even a disc jockey is probably one of the best ordnances to use. If you run out of bullets on one of your guns, you can toss one of these. And waterfall grenade is also fantastic, so you could use that too. I also have the triple bypass just because, again, you want to get your action skill back as quickly as possible, and this is the best way to do it. And for the firmware here, I got high caliber 3. I found that to work best because we want our weapons to pierce. The reason being, the crystals are lined up in a row, so you can actually get, if you have Jacob's weapon, you can actually get one, which will ricochet around, and then it'll spread to the second one, which will ricochet around, which is crazy on things like the Rowdy Rider, which gives increased ricochet projectiles. This also gives you increased gun damage, which is nice. I also like 3 Deadeye because the increased crit damage will be really high as well. But it's either 3 of these. I prefer having high caliber at 3. And for the weapons, Golden God is honestly the craziest here. This is the one that I used at the start of the video. The critical hit Jacob's Slice accessory is important. Fire, not so much. You can get it with any almost any elemental weapon. I would not recommend fire for this. Just regular is fine. And you want to have the Ripper on this because this will allow it to shoot a lot quicker. And what we're going to be doing is getting the infinite ammo back so we can continually keep firing this because it'll actually let you keep firing. We'll also take the Rowdy Rider because this one is quite powerful as well, and it can ricochet around. You saw me pull it out at the earlier part of the video because sometimes you just can't clear it out with the Golden God. Wombo combo, typically just a great one for vile enemies as well. The Dark Beast is another one I want to mention. I don't know where I put it, but it's on one of my characters, and that's a great weapon similar to the Golden God, and it'll explode and destroy the vile crystals quickly as well. And the last mention, I want to mention the bod. This is just, unfortunately, the best weapon in the game, and it makes the second phase of this fight so much easier. And if you can get one with a SMG underbarrel, that's going to be ideal. And even if the Rowdy Rider's damage is not that high, it's the amount of ricochets you can get off from it that's just so absurd. But typically, it's better to go with like the Golden God. This enemy is fire resistant, so that's not going to work out well. The Wombo combo being a good choice as well, but honestly, it's the bod that's going to be the real star of really any show because large health bars, it's just so easy to be able to pull out the bod and then just swap it around because its scaling is absolutely broken on terms of damage. One thing about the bod though is if you're using the bod, it has to be the ceramic bod with the stickies on it because otherwise it's not going to be doing the same amount of damage. This boss here is actually pretty strong against fire damage, but you can see we actually keep our ammo pretty full because we're getting bullets back, although this one will scale up in terms of the bullets used as you keep firing. And as you can see here, we can actually hip fire from extremely long range because Harlowe can get some absolutely absurd gun handling. So yeah, you don't even have to worry too much about aiming too hard. But yeah, this is honestly the craziest build in Borderlands 4. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Whoa! Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next video. I'm not sure what's happening.